Hi everyone, welcome back to Real Talk with Ami. So if you're listening to this episode, thank God you made it back here. I'm so excited. Drum roll. Yeah, I'm excited that you're giving this a second try. And I'm so sure you're going to come back again and again and again because this promises to be very insightful. More like a safe space where you can always lean on to and get all of the encouragement and support as you go through life. So today's episode is very exciting and very interesting to me because it is one I've loved to want to talk about for days, and that is why not start now. You know why this is very interesting to me? Because looking back, I remember a very interesting quote from my high school magazine. So as a high schooler back in the days, there's usually this magazine that is released during or at the end of every school year. And then amidst everything that's usually interesting in that magazine is the footnotes, the quotes that students usually would see on every of the pages. That's usually my highlight because I get to see a lot of quotes, inspiring and motivational quotes that really at the time meant a lot to me. And even more so as I grow older and try to navigate life, that or those quotes still hold true. One of those quotes, and that is very relevant to what we're going to be discussing today, is this: there is truly no time like the present. That quote is truly timeless. You agree with me? There's really no time like the present. The greatest illusion you can have in life is the illusion of tomorrow. The illusion that, things will happen if I don't stand up to work on those things. If I don't do them today, there's also tomorrow. There is always next week. There's always next year. I just want to take it one step at a time, which is really what I subscribe to. From the previous episode, you would agree I said something about one step at a time. So one step at a time does not equal to laziness, does not equal to sluggishness, does not equal to just lack of motivation. Here we're talking about the illusion of tomorrow. If today doesn't happen for me, tomorrow is going to happen for me. Oh well, news flash. Tomorrow as well is not going to happen for you if you don't take the bold step. Yes, now there is this other quote from my high school magazine that just rings a bell to me. So that quote, guess what? I literally was trying to remember the quote right now. And I had to pause for a while to remember the quote. What is this quote that I'm so excited about? Is this: a journey of 1,000 miles begin with a step. You want to get to plan 100 or step 100. You literally have to give that bold step one. So yes, the illusion of tomorrow prevents you from pushing, prevents you from going after what you had always wanted to go after or get. I think another thing that I want to talk about on this episode is that action creates motivation. So most time action feels like dialing the number and talking to someone. It feels like stepping out of your house. It also comes like going into the bathroom to take a shower. It also feels like taking a pen and then scribbling things down on your notes. It can come in different shape, form, and sizes. It can also be taking your phone and listening to what someone has to say. Or it can be texting someone, a loved one, a business partner, or just doing that thing you had always wanted to do. So you have 10 things to do, and then you try to identify what those 10 things are. Even though you're not actively going to pursue or try to get the first thing on the list out of the way, but just the idea of knowing where you are, having that mental picture of, these are what these 10 things are, and then you start ticking off those things from the list. I think another thing that prevents you from starting is perfection. Everyone wants to have it all figured out. Everyone wants to be able to dot their I's and cross their T's perfectly before starting. I'm usually of that school of thought as well. Making sure that I have everything figured out. I have everything in place and in check so I don't fall my hands. So if you don't know what that is, that's like, so I don't get to embarrass myself or don't perform up to the standard I or the society had or has placed on me or for me. So I think this thing called perfection is a joy kill in some cases, especially when you're literally struggling to start. I would say that the beginner stage is crucial for beginning. You can start even while things are messy. You can start small. The whole idea of, oh, I want to launch and launch big, or I want to do this and go all out, that's very interesting and exciting. For you, it might not work out that way. For some other person, it might be. So what do you now do? Do you fold your arms and then crumble all day that you don't have everything put in place, or you don't have as much resources and as much tools to get started like the other person, or you just start anyway? I would encourage you to start anyway. I think another thing is overcoming obstacles. One of the big major obstacles many of us, including myself, face when we want to do stuff is fear of failure, fear of judgment. How would they think of me? Do I have the right dentition? How does my smile look? Did I dress very well? What that looks like is you're going to end up feeling overwhelmed because there are lots of things running through your mind. There are lots of negative thoughts. There are lots of fear, issues that you've not addressed. Just some things that really are not it. They just keep popping up in your head and then you're not able to do what you want to do. I think another major reason why people are not able to start is resource constraints. What does resources mean to you? I don't want to use an absolute example right now. So, but you agree with me that for every level, there are resources within your reach. So that's recognizing and acknowledging that you are currently at step A and making use of the resources available for people in step A. That's very helpful because what that also means is that you're going to max out and be able to explore literally everything that is within reach for you. That's very helpful because whilst doing that, you gain the stamina to be able to explore alternatives and just get things to work really at where you are at. And then what I also want to talk about is what I call the firefighting trap. You really want to get to point A, but you want to try to see how you can explore this, you want to do this. So you're doing every other unimportant task and you're not focusing on really what you want to do. There is one person that has blessed my life so well. She usually would say, don't spend time doing things that you can relegate and outsource. And those things you can outsource, just outsource them and focus on things you should prioritize. The firefighting trap can make you find yourself in a bubble. You really want to get this done, but there's all of this micro stuff that you think in your head you have to get done to be able to get to point B. But most times it's really not that. You literally can just move to point B. Would that be perfect? No. While you're at it, you also try to discover what you can do to get better, things you can include to enhance and optimize stuff as you go. The goal is literally to get started. And I know you may be listening to me wondering, how do I get started? How do I do this? I really want to get this started. I don't want to procrastinate anymore. I want to get things done. I think the first step to doing that is action. The power of action. When you get started, you gain motivation on the way. Taking a small step creates momentum. And then start small and messy. Stop trying to figure out in your head how to put everything together, how to attain perfection before you get started. The power of the first tiny steps, like 5 minutes per day, 10 minutes per day. When you start putting in all of these action and steps, you gain motivation on the way. And then without even giving it a second thought, you discover that you start giving 10 minutes to everything you have to do. It just comes naturally when you get started. Another step to solving the procrastination that comes with delay is embracing the beginner stage. I think everyone should normalize the idea of beginning, right? Just start and then be honest with yourself that you're really committed to growing, because I know growth happens in the green stage. You learn on the way, you pick up skills, you drop things off. So you literally unlearning, relearning, and learning new stuff as you go. And then the why not question. Challenge assumptions with curiosity. So instead of, do I have everything figured out? That's going to look like, why don't I have everything figured out? And when you start thinking that way, you find out that you start challenging yourself to, I want to get step 1 done. Why can't I do step 1? So you start challenging yourself and asking yourself those questions. That's going to give you room to really dig in and try to explore and gather everything, the resources that you need to get step 1 done, rather than, oh, I can't really do this because I don't have XYZ. I think practical steps to get started is just identify one small action for your goal. So for me, because I like to be very detailed and accountable, my one small action for everything I would want to do is literally penning them down. Mind map. This is where I am. This is where I want to get to. Or these are things I want to get accomplished. How do I get started? Scribbling things down, writing, exploring ideas, and just decluttering my mind into a very specific roadmap to get my goals achieved usually would help me. And I recommend that, guys. So when you identify one small action for your goal, for me that would be bringing all of my thoughts into one piece. Then schedule it. It can be, every 10 minutes before I go to bed, or every 10 minutes after I wake up every day. And then remove one barrier. What would that barrier be for you? Is it the fear of getting started? Is it turning off notifications from your phone and electrical gadgets? Or is it shutting off your mind to fear? Or is that most times people just want to be in their own space and bubble? And then just committing to just doing it. Forget about the perfection. Just get this done. And then the thought of perfection is going to come along the way. So guys, don't let excuses steal your future. What will you want to start today? Or what is that one thing you had always wanted to do that you haven't gotten the courage to get started? So if you're listening to this podcast, I would want you to put in the comment section what that one thing you had always wanted to do is. I'm just going to end this episode with this inspiring thought. I think it's popular as well. A lot of us say it without understanding the depth to how much commitment or how much of a work that is. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. What is that one thing you had always wanted to do? Thank you guys for listening. This is Real Talk with Ami. Please, our YouTube channel is up and running. If you haven't subscribed, please just go to YouTube and search Real Talk with Ami. Subscribe, listen to the amazing episodes that's already been released. Turn on the bell notification, comment. And we also have our Apple Podcast up and running as well. You can also listen to this on Spotify. And then we also have an Instagram handle, Real Talk with Annie. So nice doing this with you guys. And I'm excited I get to go on this journey with you guys. See you in the next episode. Bye.